Hey, welcome to Call to Crawl and the DQD, Daily Quick Drop here. Please feel free to check out my other videos on the channel. If you want to follow my RC journey, subscribe, like, and share. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime a new one drops. Anyways, current conditions today, we're about 68, almost. Well, no, actually, it was a little warmer than that. Maybe in the mid 70s, actually. I wasn't out too much because I've been working on this project for my son. It's his birthday present, and he wanted a 4Runner that was kind of beat to crap, like a wrecking yard build, where you went down and you, with your buddy and some bag of tools, and you walked into the wrecking yard, and you wandered down the aisles, and you looked for some good parts on Toyota 4Runners, and lo and behold, you found a fender and a door and a headlight and all kinds of stuff for your smashed up truck that you hit out trailing. So you bought the parts and walked out and went back and worked on them. So anyways, what I've done here is I've reduced the size of the canopy for the 4Runner, 87 4Runner, that's the first gen Toyota 4Runner, by about 1 inch. Okay, so I sectioned it out 1 inch, and now I'm reattaching the end of it to finish it off. And I've already done the styrene slurry on the backside here, and I'm going to do it on the top also, but this has a texture to it. I'm not sure if it's factory or not. I haven't opened the brand new box yet, so I don't know if it comes factory with a texture, but I'm trying to kind of avoid ruining this texture in a big area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my slurry here, this stuff, and I'm going to water it down even more and make it a little bit more runny and easier to work with so it doesn't dry so fast. So I'll be adding some of this plastic weld. I'm going to do it in this old paint tray right here and kind of mix up a little batch here, and we'll see how we do. I'm going to try and fill that in and just kind of push all of the material into that gap without affecting the rest of the roof. And I know that's going to leave a bit of a ridge where the tape line is, but I'm hoping to sand that out pretty easily, and then I'm going to attempt to kind of blend the texture back into that area so you don't see the fact that it's been changed. I've already sanded down this area here. It's ready definitely for a coat of primer and maybe a little bit of filler. I can feel just a little bump there. This side turned out really well. Still has just a little bit of a bump, but I got a pretty good seam when I glued it together. So let's go ahead and try this watering down the slurry. I'm just gonna try and scoop some out. I think that's gonna be my best bet. I don't need a lot. I just want to get it runny enough to get in the groove. And this stuff is, it dries so fast. So you want to work with it, get it off your skin. Try not to inhale too many of the fumes, that sort of thing. So we're going to dump some of this out here. That's quite a bit, actually. And we'll try and mix it up. Hopefully you guys can see what's happening here. So this is going to be really violent to the top. This is going to want to try and melt the ABS in a big way because there's so much of the glue in here. But it's definitely runny. It's like syrup right now, which I think is probably ideal for what I'm going to attempt to do. I just want to make sure that's mixed up really well so I get the majority of the plastic content really well mixed in with the, yeah, it's coming off of the spoon pretty well there. So have you guys ever done any of this kind of work at home or on your trucks? I'd sure like to know about that. Let me know in the comments below on that. So I think that's runny enough. I'm going to go ahead and prime the hole, so to speak. Just a little bit in there. Don't want the tape to stick too much, but I definitely want to get some of that in there. All right, let's Now for the fun part. Figure if I just kind of put it in there and push it around, it'll get into that gap there. Really hope this is coming out for you guys. I am not a professional. Matter of fact, this is the first time I've ever tried to bob a hard body. I did bob a Lexan body, believe it or not. I just cut it apart and kind of bolted it together with some hardware and E6000. I don't want to mess up my my masking tape. This is definitely a lot easier to work with, being as liquid as it is. But again, I don't want to get too much in any one spot because it will really, there's so much glue in this content right now that it will literally, it could deform the top. So I think I want to be careful of that. I'll just try and get all of the little gaps, and then I'm going to work with a more flexible tool here. Always have yourself a bunch of little paper towels handy and ready to go when you're working with something like this. Yeah, it's kind of trying to skin up on me already. But I want to get this excess material off, because if I can get the majority of that off and all of it leaves just a line, I'm going to be really super happy. Possibly even chuffed. Huh. All right, let's continue on. Come to this side here. Oh yeah, it's really trying to dry up on me. Darn it. So, you know, if it does dry up like that and it gets really hard to deal with, just add more glue. It's not that big of a deal. And after it dries, if you're a great sander or you've got some nice little sanding, you know, almost like the shape of a pencil, those are great. So we're just going to put a little bit more in there. And, you know, adding more is going to kind of reliquify everything. And so you can kind of work again. It's fairly forgiving to do this. It's, you know, the big thing is the cut. If you don't have your cut right, well, then you've got a lot of work ahead of you, because you got big seams, kind of like what I ended up on the body, which will be part of a whole big build video for this vehicle. All right, I think I'm going to just leave it there for now. Let's do that now. Right, remember, just, you know what, if you're afraid of trying to try something weird and new, just do it. Go for it. It's really not that big of a deal. Thankfully, these are just little RC cars. It's not like you got a $50,000 hot rod sitting in the garage that you just chose the wrong transmission for, and now you got to buy another $10,000 transmission. Try and give you a close-up here. I think that filled in pretty well. I can feel a little ridge right there in the middle, which should sand off if I'm real careful, and I won't affect the rest of the roof texture here. But inevitably I will have to texture using a sponge or a dabbing of a big brush, something to kind of give it that blend. I'll probably have to blend it all the way in around the roof so you don't see any of that. So anyways, see you next time.